Hey, Crystal Maiden here. And now we come to one of the worst bosses in the game, the boss of Toy Kingdom. And Sonic sleeping in his idle animation was fairly appropriate considering how dull this boss is. This boss is always guaranteed to last for 2 minutes no matter what you do. In retrospect, it was a really bad idea for me to be playing this as an Amy-like gameplay style, because this boss constantly shoots out toy soldiers. And when you jump into toy soldiers without pressing the B button immediately after you jump, then you're going to get hit, because you can't jump into enemies with Amy as your partner. Like, the only reason I decided that was a good idea was because having her hammer attack meant that I would be able to attack the boss without having to jump into it. So it would be more convenient. But Sonic still has a melee attack, like he can still somersault into it. So in retrospect, I should have been playing as Amy with Sonic as the partner. If anybody. But I guess it's good for me to show off Amy's gameplay style somehow. This missile is surprisingly easy to dodge, even if you start walking and you dodge it just by walking. You'll actually dodge it. Like, normally Sonic games have a pretty slow acceleration from a standstill, and this is actually to encourage not taking it slow, because you start out moving really slowly. Like, even Mario has faster acceleration from a standstill because it wants you to take it slow. Sonic games want to encourage you to go fast. Oh, great. Like, the ring falls straight through the floor, and there was only one hit to go before I won. There's so many different ways that I died here. And again, the reason that this footage is more close up, I mean, the whole video is not going to be like this, but the reason this footage was close up was because my emulator crashed when I tried to reload the state. So the emulator was in a different position from where my Bandicam screen footage recorder thing was. And don't fall into that pit there. Like, I never jumped down the pit because I assumed that was where the goal ring was. But it would suck if you went through all the trouble of beating that boss just to jump down the pit because you assumed that was what you're supposed to do. That is such a Kaizo trap. I like how Amy has an idle animation where she has a heart when she stands behind Sonic. Like, that's a nice touch. Although I wonder if she still has that idle animation even when she's a partner for a character she's not in love with. But yeah, Twinkle Snow is easily the best level we've come to so far. Like, when I first played it, I was like, this is the first genuinely good level in the game. I mean it, this level's actually pretty well designed. It's fast and fun, and it's the first level in the game that doesn't have cheap enemy placement. I mean, going back to the levels before this, and aside from Toy Kingdom, I enjoyed most of them on my second playthrough. Even though they do have cheap enemy placement, and can be kind of sloppy in design, like you don't know where you're supposed to go. But Twinkle Snow Act 1 is a genuinely good level. The reason I'm showing off the Tails and Amy combination here is because Tails and Amy is yet another combination that is very broken. Because you can attack while you're flying. So I decided to show it off. I wanted to see how broken it really was. And to be honest, I concluded that having Amy as a partner is not really worth any of the benefits that you can get. Like, I really don't see why this is better than Knuckles and Tails, where you can actually jump at enemies. But it is neat that you can attack in the air at all. Like, this is a nice level. Although its music doesn't compare to any of the ice levels before it. Like, I don't even remember what the theme of this is. Of course, I have to mention that I'm recording this, having the footage that I'm watching at the moment on mute, obviously. So that's why I can't remember what the music is. But yeah, the theme isn't as good as Ice Mountain Zone or Ice Cap or anything like that. It's not even as good as the Sonic Advance 2 ice level theme. But it has its own gimmicks. It has the minecarts, which can inexplicably go upwards without drastically losing speed and rolling back down. I guess uses chaos energy, making it defy laws of physics. But this is a good level. Unfortunately, the rest of the acts of Twinkle Snow go back to having cheap enemy placement. And there can be a really annoying water area later on. But it's still a good level. Like in general, I think the levels of this game are pretty underrated. I thought the level design was going to be shit, but it was more fun than I expected. Like, it actually remembers how to be fast, despite having platforming in it. It's weird, like, even though Amy can't spin dash, at least not in Advance 1 anyways. Like, I haven't tried playing as her in Advance 3. I'm guessing she only is able to spin dash when she has Sonic as a partner. But anyways, it's weird, like, you can still spin dash when you have Amy as your partner, you just can't jump at enemies. I don't like that enemy because, obviously, it shoots out projectiles. And the way it was placed there, it was pretty likely for you to run into it. Just like the other levels, this level has a moving crusher block, but it's not really in a dangerous place, so... But yeah, there's minecarts here. And they're not like the minecarts of Sonic 2 for the Master System. Well, actually they are, because if you jump on them, like if you jump in the minecarts, you'll jump out of them. It's not like in Sonic Rush Adventure, where you get the minecarts, but when you jump in them, the minecart jumps. So if you fall into a minecart, and you're so surprised by that you instinctively mash the jump button, then you're going to jump out of the minecart, and you're probably not going to be able to beat the level, depending on when you did it. Like, there's this one water area where if you don't have the minecart there, you can't progress. Although the minecart can respawn if you go to the left enough. But one of the ways in which your partner can screw you over is that if your partner happens to be ahead of you and lands on the minecart, then the minecart will go off without you. And that always happens with me, not with, like, I'll arrive where the minecart is going to be in the water area, and it's already not there. I don't ever even get to see it take off without me. But for the most part, having a partner has never actually inconvenienced me. Like, I can barely remember any times when having a partner inconvenienced me, like the artificial stupidity of Tails. So I don't really get what the big problem is with having a partner. For the most part, it just benefits me because the partner attacks the bosses for me. Tails can still swim underwater, which is good. Because it couldn't do that in the Game Gear games for some reason. It's good that you can still get up that slope without the minecart. Something I haven't mentioned about the minigames yet is that you actually can't grind for lives with them as effectively as I assumed. Because it turns out that you can only play an individual minigame once every time you reload your file. So it's like there's this one minigame, the push the switches one in the first hub world, where you can get 5 lives from it. It's really easy to get 5 lives from it. But the problem is that you can only play it once every time you reload your file. And every time you reload your file, your lives are reset to 3. So, like, that is really frustrating, because there's only a few minigames that are easy enough for you to reliably win over and over again. So why is it that you can only play an individual minigame once, even though you need them to grind for lives? And it's not like with every other 2D Sonic game, this is a really annoying section of the level. Easily my least favorite part of the level because of the bottomless pit. Like, it wasn't very intuitive that I had to progress by hitting the spring to the left of it there. It felt like the level was leading me to the right. That's kind of my fault, though. But anyways... Damn, what was I talking about? I think what I was talking about was... It really sucks that you can't grind for lives like in every other Sonic game where you just replay the first level over and over again. Because, sure, in Sonic Advance 1, for example, replaying the first level over and over again was a good way to grind for lives because you're guaranteed to always have over 100 rings by the time you beat it. And of course, the game doesn't save the amount of rings that you have collected from the level until after you've beaten it. But that also applies to Advance 3. So the problem is that it's not like you can grind for lives by beating Route 99's levels over and over again. Because you try to do that, and you're guaranteed to get hit when you're playing Route 99. So you try to collect a whole bunch of lives in Route 99 by getting all the rings, but you're guaranteed to get hit in them. So life grinding is really something you can do in this game. Yeah, that's easily the most annoying minecart in the game. You pretty much need it to progress, and it's easy for it to go on without you. You really shouldn't be able to jump out of the minecarts. I don't see the benefits being able to do that. Yeah, like, Advance 3 is a harder game than Advance 1 and 2. So it feels really inexcusable to me that you can't grind for lives. Sure, you can play a few minigames, emphasis on a few, but the maximum amount of lives you can possibly hope to get to is 9 from doing that. I don't know why you can't just replay the same minigame over and over again. That's stupid. Because Route 99 is so cheap that you're guaranteed to get hit a whole bunch when you try to replay it to get a bunch of lives. So if you're coming to a dangerous level, the best you can hope for is you have 9 lives up to that point. That's it. I kind of like these things. I like how fast they launch you. You always progress through the level when you're getting launched by them. So they're never an inconvenience or anything. But yeah, this is a fun level. Don't like how that snowman can shoot projectiles though. That's kind of annoying. Snowballs by themselves can't hurt you, so I'm guessing the snowmen throw ice balls instead, because that makes more sense. Those square things on the walls are actually launching gimmicks. What you're supposed to do on them is stand on them and crouch. And if you crouch on them for long enough, they'll go down far enough, and then you stop crouching, and they launch you really high. And the launching gimmicks in this game are well thought out and well designed, that they always curl you up into a ball so that you can defeat any enemies that you're launched up into. Whether it's the crouch blocks, or the push block dash pads you'll be seeing later, or the horizontal swinging poles that you'll also be seeing later. Generally, when you come to a gimmick in this game that will launch you, it's going to curl you up into a ball. So that's really good design. What's not good design is that I didn't find it very intuitive that you could get launched up by those blocks by crouching on them at all. That's why I didn't use them once until that one part of the level, this level, where they were mandatory. That's why I ended up getting stuck and running around in circles a whole bunch. I think this part of the level, because I didn't know what I was supposed to do with that thing. It wasn't intuitive enough. Like, that they should have an arrow or something on it to make it more obvious that you're supposed to crouch on it. I don't know why there can't just be a regular spring there. Like a spring that's able to launch you high enough. Like, there's no up arrow on it, or a down arrow, or anything like that. So it didn't occur to me that I should crouch on it for long enough and then launch myself. And there's no way other than, like, I assume maybe if I go down here, I'll find out a way to progress through a level. Nope. Yeah, I spent 2 minutes wandering around in circles until I finally figured out what I was supposed to do. Well, I was playing as Knuckles, so I guess it's appropriate. Like, Knuckles can potentially be confused about what to do sometimes. Like, he grew up completely isolated with no education or anything like that, no people to interact with. So it makes perfect sense that he's ignorant and capable of making mistakes a lot of the time. Like, I think just calling him an idiot and a stereotypical dumb tough guy is oversimplifying it, because he has a legitimate excuse for being stupid. And even then, I wouldn't say stupid necessarily. He is smart at his own thing. But It's weird, like, because he was isolated for so much of his life, it's kind of weird that he's got a reputation as being gullible. Because to be gullible, you have to be trusting. And, like, you actually... Yeah, it took me that long wandering around the hub world aimlessly for me to finally find how to get to the boss. These hub worlds suck. But anyways, psychologists have found documented cases of what they call wild children, which are children who were raised in the wild by like animals and stuff, and they never actually interacted with actual people. So Knuckles would basically qualify as that, although he can talk for some reason. I guess Master Emerald taught him how to do it. But my point is, those wild children, they don't trust people, because trust is something that you have to learn. One of the first stages of your life is trust versus mistrust. And Knuckles would have never gotten past that, because he never learned to trust people. So why is he gullible? That doesn't really make any sense. Anyways, these platforms only fall when you jump off them. But even knowing that, it's still easy to die in this boss because of the goddamn ball and chain that constantly knocks you to your death. It's knockback that kills you more than anything. Like, that's something I haven't mentioned about Toy Kingdom's boss. A lot of the time you'll die to it because you'll get knocked into the pit. So it's not as easy to dodge everything as you might think, because you can't just spin dash to the left to dodge it, because spin dashing will send you into the pit. This is a really infamous boss in the game because there's so many ways that you can get knocked to your death here. And it's weird because, like, I guess the thing that is attached to the Eggmobile that's constantly rising is in the background, and that's why you don't land on it. It just... I think it's a good idea to play this boss. Well, no, because the character that being your partner would make this boss easier, she isn't unlocked until quite a while afterwards. So, it's like, every time that Cream could be useful, she's not. Like, I'm gonna spoil it right now. Cream is a character you can unlock in this game, and she gets unlocked so late that all of her usefulness is practically useless. Because, sure, she has plenty of abilities that she can contribute, but she gets unlocked so late that what's the point? It's really disappointing. I mean, I know that Cream is broken, but still, she gets unlocked so late in this game. Anyways, see you for the next part.